Good day, everyone. My name is Mariam, and today I will be discussing liberating structures with my colleagues Fuat and Ketty. Next slide, please. First, we have to define the words liberation and structure. So, what is liberation? Liberation is providing a release from a situation which limits freedom of thought or behavior, while structure is the way in which the parts of a system or object are arranged or organized. Next slide. So, what are liberating structures? Liberating structures are easy to learn microstructures that enhance relational coordination and trust. They quickly foster lively participation in groups of any size, making it possible to truly include and unleash everyone's abilities. Liberating structures offers an alternative way to approach and design how people work together. It consists of a menu of 33 structures to replace or complement conventional practices. Liberating structures, if used routinely, make it possible to build the kind of organization that everybody wants. They are designed to include everyone in shaping next steps. Next slide. To fully understand the importance of liberating structures, we have to ask ourselves this question. So, why is it that so many organizations of all stripes are filled with disengaged workers, dysfunctional groups, and wasted ideas? While there will always be some justification for blaming leaders, the more compelling and useful explanation is that the people involved are not bad or stupid, but rather the practices they have learned are neither adapted to today's realities nor designed to achieve our goals. In relation to today's realities, we of course have to discuss the effect of the pandemic on meetings. Next slide, please. Ronald Evans, in an essay about the impact of a pandemic on professional meetings, discussed how the pandemic has affected the career. He explains that meetings with his colleagues have been a vital part of his career as they have been a venue to meet mentors, collaborators, and more. Video conferencing cannot provide this experience, and liberating structures ensures that the meetings are run effectively. And then my colleague Fuat will continue with the following slides.
Thanks, Mariam. We have talked about what the liberating structure is and what the effects of COVID so far. Actually, uh, in here, you can see all 33 liberating structures and their doodles. I'm not going to go all the way into the details, but I will try to explain them briefly so you are all familiar with the games and methods. Like here, if you look at the top left, 2510. First, every participant writes on an index card his or her bold idea and first step. Then people mill around and cards are passed from person to person. Mill and pass only, no reading. When the bell rings, people stop passing cards and pair up to exchange thoughts on the cards in their hands. Then participants individually rate the idea on their card with a score of 1 to 5, 1 for low and 5 for high, and write it on the back of the card. A maximum rating a card can get is 25, and we are looking for top 10 ideas, hence the name. Let's explain another one, 15% solution. You can reveal the acts, no matter how minor, that everyone can perform right away. 15% solutions demonstrate that there is no cause to be impatient, helpless, or scared. Let's do another one. Look at the mushroom doodle. It is called min specs. The min specs is very minimum rules that must absolutely be followed. Invite the participants to first generate the entire list of all the do's and don'ts that they should pay attention to in order to achieve a successful outcome. This is the list of maximum specifications. After you prepare this, ask yourself if we broke the or ignored this rule, could we still achieve our purpose? If so, you may remove it from the list. Now allow me to explain 9 whys. It is a very fun game. You can quickly reveal when a purpose is missing to go forward. After selecting your topic, you must ask a specific question like what do you do when working on this topic and why is that important to you? After you hear the answers, ask the participant why, up to 9 times. If they can't go deeper, you have unleashed the fundamental purpose. Let's do cafe chat. The format of the conversation cafe helps people have calm and profound conversations in which there is less debating and arguing and more listening. Sitting in a circle with simple set of agreements and a talking object, small groups will engage in rounds of dialogue with little or no unproductive conflict. Now, after I tell you about these 10 principles, which are pretty self-explanatory, Utku will dive deeper for some of the games because I only explained to you their concepts, not how they work. Let's look at the slide. The 10 leadership principles listed below demonstrate what is possible when liberating structures are utilized to structure daily interactions. Meetings, one-on-one conversations, change initiatives, and encounters with clients or users are examples of daily interactions. Actually, if you could look at the number 5, learn by failing forward, it actually says fail fast, fail often. The only way you are going to improve yourself is to make mistakes. If you look at the number 7, it says amplify freedom and responsibility. Actually, this is the whole purpose that liberating structures arise from the conventional structures. It is the opposite of it. So now, thank you for listening to me, and Keti will continue.
Thank you, Fuat. And hi, everyone. Now I will talk about three microstructures more detailed. Our first game is called 1, 2 for all. Pretty easy to do and very effective for communication. You can include as much people as you want. The game starts with everyone thinking a solution to a same challenge for a minute. After 1 minute, everyone gets a pair and discuss their ideas between them for 2 minutes. Then 4 people comes together and do the same thing for 4 minutes. Lastly, all of the group comes together and do the same thing for 5 minutes. In order to increase communication, you can keep the cycle with various groups. With this game, everyone is expected to communicate with each other, and everyone is engaged into searching for a challenger's solution. You can use this structure for unlocking a discussion that has become dysfunctional or stuck, or you can use it after a speech or a presentation when it's important to get rich feedback instead of asking any questions. Next slide, please. Next, design storyboards. In every group project, communication is the key. In order to strengthen our communication, we usually set up meetings. But another key thing is time. Those meetings sometimes take too much time, or in the end, meeting itself becomes inefficient. To prevent this time loss and only focus on necessities, groups can design storyboards. There are some key points while designing storyboards. First, you need to clarify the purpose of work altogether for 2 to 5 minutes, and you can also use 9 whys while doing it. Decide which microstructure suits best for this purpose for 5 to 10 minutes, then re-examine and strengthen positive parts of it. Brainstorm alternative microstructures if needed any. If it's more complicated job, then you can also create advanced design storyboards. Last microstructure, we can go to the next slide. Improve prototyping. The structure not only develops good communication, but also enhances the development of any prototype or service in the company. There will be players and observers in this structure. Observers make a circle in the middle of everyone, and players make a circle in the middle of everyone, and others gather together as groups. After describing what will be done and sequences of steps, players will play a scene they face while developing a prototype or service. After that, every group discusses successful and unsuccessful aspects of the scene with the microstructure 1, 2 for all. Then every group is expected to put all the good aspects of it into their prototype. When one of the groups decide that they have improved prototype, they come to the stage and explain it like this first player group, and then cycle continues as much rounds as needed. With this exercise, it's possible to invent new ways to interact with customers, or it's also possible for managers to make their interactions with people who report to them more productive. Next slide, please. Here, I talked about 3 structures in details, and even while explaining them, I mentioned other structures. As you can also see, these exercises are not just little games, they are microstructures to enhance every aspect of the workplace. With their use of collaboration, it's possible to enhance communication and people's contribution in workplaces. You can go to next slide. And thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.